In the Fuzzy Memories podcast, we celebrate the good, the rad, and the fugly of the 80s and 90s.
We're three latchkey kids who made it out alive.
And in each episode, we break down all the culture that popped, 1 year at a time.
Whether it's the birth of legends,
I'm Lyme disease free today, and I have Whitney Houston and MTV to thank. Or audacious moves.
Imagine also the poor Golden Gate Bridge. You turn 75 and people have a party on you.
Yep. I don't want that.
Or even confusing PSAs.
And the stop, drop, and roll. I mean, I assumed
Yes.
as an adult I would catch on fire weekly.
All the time!
We've got a take that will make you laugh.
We've also got thoughts on all sorts of random phenomena and the most unmitigated of golf.
Why sharks can't be trusted, people can't be trusted, and rivers can't be trusted. It's collusion.
Of the highest degree.
Uh-huh.
You were counseling me to start my remarks with, first of all, bitch.
Everyone in that room would have snapped to attention.
It's going to be basically coffee lids, shark revenge, and then maybe like Matt Getz. God, we need to do something about him.
join us every other Wednesday to celebrate the hits, the misses, and the misfits of the weirdest decades.
If I could tell my 14-year-old self from 1990 that I would be eating in a Cheesecake Factory in
Beverly Hills.
I'd be like, we did it. We did it, Joe.
We did it.
Listen and subscribe to Fuzzy Memories on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and your favorite podcast platform. Hello, and welcome to Broads and Books. I'm Erin.
And I'm Amy. And this is our end of 2022 roundup, wrap up, whatever you want to name it.
You want to name it.
Yeah,
Roundup,
best
wrap
of
up,
2022.
recap.
Yes. We're looking at the year. We're
Yes.
thinking about some of our favorite things.
Yes. We've done this for a couple years now. Just bring some things that we liked outside of the book world.
Yes. It's great fun.
It's so fun. And we'll tell you what our favorite reading experiences were.
Absolutely.
But
first, we have to talk about
Yes.
random events or happenings, and then you're going to bring some products, I'm sure.
yeah, mine's
that are-
almost all products. Yeah. Yeah.
that have probably been out for a while.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
But they've made your life
Yeah.
better in
They've made
2022.
my life better.
That's what this is about.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you feeling about the end of 2020? We're recording this on December 31st.
We are.
2022.
This is the last day of 2022.
Yeah, we got a few hours left. How are you feeling?
I feel like it should go. I don't.
You ready?
Yeah.
For it
Yeah.
to-
Don't
for
you think?
going- Oh,
I mean,
for
we're
sure.
done with 2022.
Yeah.
You didn't really bring anything great.
No. Each year since, the year that shall not be named, we've been sort of just hoping for a mild improvement.
I think what's happened here is we're it's like a NFL football team, and we keep drafting the year and it keeps disappointing. Like everybody's like, this is 2022 is going to do it. This is going to be the year my team is going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then you're like, 2022 was a letdown. And I don't blame 2022 because I don't know how you live up to those expectations.
It's true.
But
It's true. They're getting worse and worse. I am surprised you went with an NFL metaphor.
I have no idea where that came from.
That was really interesting because, at first I was like, oh, I'm going to shut my brain off because I don't know what the hell she's going to talk about here.
I don't
And,
know why I went that route.
I mean, it worked.
It
I got
ended okay.
It ended okay. It started out rocky.
You had every reason to doubt that I could land that metaphor or analogy or whatever.
It's like it's an odd choice.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe you're starting 2023 off in a new way. By paying
way.
attention to organized sports? I wouldn't go that far.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I just can't care.
No.
I don't have it in me.
It's dumb to care.
I just don't care. I'm not invested in how someone else can throw a ball on a field.
No.
It just
I used to be, and now I just look back at those years like, why? That was a lot of
Why?
stress and anxiety for nothing.
Yeah. I'll watch college games sometimes if
Yeah.
people want to.
Yeah.
But it's not like something that I necessarily seek out.
But you also, as a mom, you've had to see a lot of sports performances, band performances, all of that. So maybe just the thrill of that is gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone. I can tell you where the best walking tacos in the state of Iowa are, though.
What a great skill.
So amazing.
Well, as we enter 2023, I think we've talked about this. You don't really do resolutions, right?
No,
Or do you?
I do more like goals.
That's
like
right.
these are things
Yeah.
I would like to work on
Yeah.
for the year. Not like
Yeah.
a resolution of like, I'm going to lose 50 pounds.
good
like
Lord,
nothing
no.
like that. It's like, I don't get enough reading time. Where are some areas I
Yeah.
can work in more reading?
Absolutely.
Or
Like how to adjust your schedule a little bit. Yeah.
Like I'd like to get my morning routine a little more, maybe some time for meditation or some stretching. So how do I work that in? That type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't like the resolution idea because
No.
it's always presented as something that you have to do, like to punish yourself or
It feels like a weird ritual that then you're just going to let go after a couple weeks anyway. So
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like
it's fake.
you're
It's like-
performing. you're
Yes,
performing this
yes.
action. And
absolutely.
I resolve not to join a gym. How about that?
Resolution done. I don't
Yes.
even have to make it to next December 31st. I can tell you that's happening.
I resolve to eat as much candy as I want to.
Yes, I resolve to do nothing when I want to do nothing.
Yeah. I resolve to watch the TV I want to watch.
Yes.
I resolved to not take any more cats in. That was dangerous just to even go down that route. Let's pretend like that didn't happen.
I think that you could very successfily start a fostering cat program.
Boy, I feel like my life is run enough by cats already.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it would be.
Don't make me do more, Aaron.
Sorry. I resolve not to make you
Jesus.
do more.
Don't make me start a business I don't want to
Right,
start in
right.
2023.
Okay.
A
no
nonprofit
businesses,
business.
no
Good Lord.
businesses. Well, I didn't say it had to be nonprofit.
Oh, okay, good. So I get to keep the money.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Not going to
but-
happen.
no.
Don't make me do it.
Okay.
All right.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
So what's one of your favorite things of 2022?
I tell you what, one of my favorite things is drunk drivers. And here's why. Usually, in a normal year, I wouldn't have said that because
Okay.
there's really no good. There's really no good use for drunk drivers. However, this year was different, and I'll tell you why. Because I had a porch that needed some TLC. So about a year ago, I asked your husband and you to quote me on fixing that porch, and you did. And you gave me a number, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to set that aside for a little bit. Fine. Then a few months later, a drunk driver drove down 31st Street and right into my yard and right into that porch. And I was in the house at the time and I looked outside. I'm like, that is a car in my front yard pulling out from the bricks of the patio. Long story short, they caught the guy. He gave an epic police report, of which I got a copy,
Amazing.
in which he described how someone cut him off. So he decided to chase him through the city.
And
Doing
throw
a pit type maneuver several
my favorite
times,
part.
which made it feel like he thinks he's a police officer or somebody, you know, doing.
It was one of my favorite reading experiences of 2020, that
fantastic.
police report. Yeah.
And all to say then, because of that, because of his drunken driving, I got insurance to pay for that patio fixin'. I got a brand new patio because of a drunk driver
You did.
at no cost to myself.
You sure did.
So yay, drunk drivers.
Congratulations on being stupid. Yeah. That.
As I said, in a normal year, that'd be a
That's-
controversial statement.
no.
This year, I stand by it.
One particular drunk driver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. One particular drunk driver. And who got me a porch.
Got you a porch.
A lovely porch.
It is lovely.
That your husband and your sons worked on.
They did.
And at one point I looked out and your sons were singing some Def Leppard real loud while they were working. And it gave me
sounds
such
accurate.
great joy.
Yeah. Zach will get into it.
So that's where I'm starting with 2022.
You know what? I think that was a good place to start. That was a good place to start. Okay. Where do I start? Let's see.
You are looking through a list. Oh
Yeah.
shit, you got a long list.
Well, I just wrote little
Damn.
notes. See if we could jump around.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to jump right to something that is probably not on many people's lists.
Oh, okay. Like drunk drivers?
Like,
Okay.
yeah, usually doesn't make a favorites.
right.
It's called Display Technologies VisiFast Drink Display. That's a lot.
What?
That's a lot to say that when you go into a gas station
Okay.
and you
okay.
buy a bottled drink, whether that be
Okay.
juice, water, pop, whatever, right? You grab it and the other ones move up.
Sure.
Right. And they load it from the back.
Okay.
Like in a cooler type system.
Yeah.
However, you can buy those racks yourself, which is what I did.
What?
Yeah, and I put them in my outside fridge.
Oh my
because
God.
I have a lot of like pop and beverages. That's all our outside fridges. And it is just chaos because people would take things, or there was just no room. Like there was just 12 packs in there. It was chaos. So I ordered 2 for the 2 shelves. And they spring load like that. You load them up and then, they just move forward and then you just have to load them up. Now, the downside is I don't have I can't load it from the back like they do at a gas station, but it's organized. You can see it. It doesn't drive me nuts when I open it. Pops don't fall out. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh my gosh.
And I got it like right at the new year of 2022 and installed it, and it comes a little bit bigger and then you snap off the pieces you don't need. I loved everything. I love everything about it. Every time I open my fridge, and it's easy for me to see what we're out of or not out of. Mm-hmm. It's easy to keep everything cold because you just add the drinks.
My God.
Yeah.
Did the people that are taking all the pops, did they notice this?
Oh yeah. There was a period of like a month where everyone cycled through that hadn't seen it, and they were just like, "What is this?" And I was like,
"It's technology. That's magic."
Yeah, this is gas station quality beverage control.
This is also a sign of your tenaciousness, where you're like, "I see a problem. I got to find a solution, and I'm going to find that solution." And you did,
and I did, and
you implemented it.
Putting it in there, nothing brings me more joy than loading those cans. It's just so great.
That feels like it would be very
and it
fulfilling.
fits bottles too, so it can fit like Propel bottles. Or the only thing that doesn't fit really great is Gatorade, like the thicker Gatorade bottles. But we don't have that a lot anyway. So
you're saying if people are in a similar situation where it's just chaos
in your fridge and you're done with it, you've been getting those old school stupid pop dispensers that you put the whole 12 pack in there and then they roll out one at a time. That's not what you're really looking for.
No.
That's not the organization you deserve.
Exactly. You deserve more in 2023.
More. And these are worth it. 100%.
Well, that's a good way to start. I wonder if when we do this at the end of 2023, your top one will be the new fridge because it's coming in here in a couple days.
It is, yes. The outside fridge will stay the same, but I am getting a new inside fridge. Ooh. So that's going to be
these
really
things
exciting.
That make your daily life
exciting. So exciting.
You did text me and be like, this is a sign of that I am the age that I am, that Mike and I are so friggin' pumped about this new
about a fridge. Yeah. We were like, no, we don't need to do Christmas presents. We both get what we want throughout the, it doesn't matter. But then we were like, we really do want a new fridge. And so then Mike was like, I'll buy you half a fridge and you buy me half a fridge. And I was like, done. Merry Christmas.
That's the best Christmas.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. So Display Technologies, Vizzy Fast Drink Display. Get
Just
it.
rolls off the tongue.
What
a great brand name.
Yeah, because I think it's like for restaurants or stores. Like,
so they don't have to worry about branding and marketing.
Why did this random lady in a neighborhood order this? What is she doing?
Well, another one of my favorite things is the baby crossword, by which I mean I got a book of all the Monday crosswords from New York Times.
Oh, yes.
And I just admitted to myself, like, I'm not at the caliber yet of those higher levels.
Yes.
So I'm going to get myself the baby crossword, gain some confidence.
There you go.
Maybe move to the Tuesdays next.
Yeah.
And then gradually make myself a crossword master. At this time, I'm working my way through the Monday book, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because half of them I know right away, half of them I don't. I can figure it out over time. Sometimes I have to look to the back, give myself clues, but I'm letting myself do it.
See? You and I are so on the same page because I just started the same thing.
Did you really?
Yes.
Well, the reason I thought of it is the last time when Heath was here, we talked about Wordle and that whole fiasco. And it reminded me that I'd found this at Barnes & Noble or something a couple weeks ago. And I've loved it. It's so fun.
I need to get in on that.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to piggyback then because this is another thing you and I have loved this year.
Yeah.
And it has brought me great joy. I had never done it prior to this year. Taught myself it. Didn't understand it prior to. Thought it was crazy. Now the satisfaction I get when I complete one, a Sudoku puzzle.
That's another one that I love.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have had multiple conversations. Now, my favorite form. Now, I've been through a couple books, people. Okay. My favorite has binding, like spiral binding.
That's the best.
So you can open it, lay it flat.
Yes.
And I also like them bigger because I like more room to write the numbers and see them.
Yes.
So I have been working through that. I have one right now that has 5 levels, and you just keep work. I love it.
It's a lovely little logic puzzle.
It is.
That feels like it just works.
It does.
It's great.
And when you do it and you're like, nailed that one. It just is so satisfying.
It is a sense of control in a world that's out of control.
Exactly. Now, I will fully admit I'm 20 years behind on this trend, I think,
and that's okay.
But I'm here to tell you, you can join a trend at any time.
And I'm like 100 years behind the crossword trend, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
I am here to say I'm 45 years old, and I like crosswords now.
I feel like it's segued right into an SNL sketch. I'm here to say I'm 45 and I love crosswords.
50.
I
stretch.
am also in my 40s and I love a Sudoku.
Now this feels like an AA meeting of some kind. Like we're really admitting.
We're really getting it out there.
We're getting into the good stuff is what's happening.
Ultimately, though, don't be afraid to try something new. You might find a passion.
And listen, on that bent, I learned piano this year. I learned fucking piano.
That's right. That's huge. That's actually huge.
I bought myself a sort of like, cheap keyboard last Christmas. I was like, this is going to be the year. This is going to be it. Because for so many years I've wanted to learn piano. I never did as a kid. And I remember even in college, like one semester I had a little extra time. So I took like a 1 day a week piano course and it was the best. I loved it so much. But to be able to sort of, propel those skills and develop those skills on your own is really hard. But this year I discovered a couple apps that, it's all built-in courses and sheet music and everything. And it just sort of bit by bit, it really got me into it. And I still have, I still play very haltingly. Yeah. But I enjoy it. I do it a little bit every day. I'm playing all sorts of songs. The app I found has a lot of songs that are actually current too. That was another thing that I would always find in piano books. One, that you couldn't really hear what it's supposed to sound like because it's in the book. Right. And that's a benefit of the app. And two, it'd be a lot of like old standards or jazz classics or things that I just didn't really know. Right. This is, pop stuff. Yeah. Or so like rock stuff. Or like, movie scores and stuff. Like there's a bunch of Game of Thrones songs that are on it. It's fantastic.
Oh, perfect.
The app is called Simply Piano, in case you're interested.
I'm impressed.
I love it. And because I enjoyed it so much over the year, I bought myself a nicer piano for Christmas. One that matches my decor.
Oh, I didn't even look at it when I came in.
I'll show you when we go downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's more like an actual piano. It's still digital, but it's like heavier keys. Yeah. Love it.
Oh, yeah. The weighted key. Yep. Yep. Evan just got a new one last year for his birthday, and there was a whole bunch of requirements for this new one. Yeah. And heavier, actually weighted keys. And
it reminded me of, you remember the movie Spy with Melissa McCarthy? And Jason Statham plays an agent who's always trying to one up everything with like, I once tore my own arm off and reattached it. And in one of these like spiels where he's going on and on about all the skills that he did, he said, I learned piano at an adult age. And I was like, this is me. This is me.
It's me. It's me. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
So yeah, again, like Erin said, don't be afraid to try new things and suck at them for a while. But you'll find enjoyment in that.
Yeah. I like that. And that's great. That's a great recommendation because if people just don't know where to start,
Yeah. And there's 2 apps that I use. I'll link to both of them. One is like a lot of classes. Another is just a lot of sheet music of all kinds. And
as an adult, it's hard to find a consistent time to take a lesson or to do something like that. So this is great that it's self-propelled.
And I have that weird thing where I feel very uncomfortable around people in general. And so like a person instructor always was way too intimidating. So like having an app thing is great.
That's terrific. Okay. Well, this is also a bit of a departure for me.
Let's hear it.
If you are familiar with me at all.
Which I am.
Yeah. I don't know why I said that. Like, what?
You were talking to our listeners.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I am
Okay.
familiar. Yeah.
So I got one of the things that I've been working on all year, and it's not done yet, is that like my closet just really always made me mad because like there's just stuff in there, and it was my own fault. It was my own like lack of just going through it. Like I still have business clothes from 10 years ago that I'm clearly never going to wear again.
Yeah,
There's no reason to have them. I don't know what it is, but I just never really took the time, or I felt like I had too much stuff that I didn't even really want to wear. So then I was just struggling to find something. So I'm like, there's got to be an easier way. And I kind of wanted to just minimalize things because I'm not a huge, like, I don't wear like a lot of patterns or a lot of bright colors. I mean, there's just certain things that just aren't really in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And not because like I haven't explored or I don't know what I like. I don't like it.
Done.
So yeah, I decided this year I was going to do this adult thing and create a capsule wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through everything. I came up with kind of some guidelines and things, read a bunch of stuff, and then I created and just kept pieces that sort of fit within that frame. So that when I go to my closet, it's super easy to get dressed because there's like a few options. And at first when I was looking at it, I was, our culture's taught us like, oh, that's not enough.
Yes.
But you'd be amazed at how many different ways you can wear the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much more calm. The getting dressed part is just calm and easy, and I don't feel like stressed, like, oh, I have to go somewhere today and I gotta, no. And I dress for the life I have now, which is much more casual. I work from home. I don't have that many occasions to dress up, and my wardrobe reflects that. And it just feels like me. I only bought things that I love and that I love the way that they look on me. I didn't buy anything just because it was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy anything because, oh, it could be cute. I didn't do any of that. I just searched by my body type. I bought things for my body, not for some body I think I'm going to have or wish I had or used to have. And this is where we're at. And it's so much better. I feel so much more confident in my clothes because I took the time and picked them out. I like the fit, and
I still need to do that. I had asked you some questions when you were doing this, and
Yeah.
then I think you sent me a link, and I immediately got overwhelmed, so I stopped.
Yeah.
But when I look at my clothes, I just feel panic. Like,
Yeah.
oh God, what am I going to wear? And I still don't have a lot of clothes for this specific body and my specific needs.
Yes.
And yeah, it's
Yes.
still a lot. I think
It is.
I need to read up.
Yeah, when you read up, it can be overwhelming. But the nice thing is if you get some lists, they kind of give you categories, and then you can kind of like buy within those categories. Like they kind of give you suggestions of what you need, but you can switch that up, like a couple skirts. I don't ever wear skirts.
Yeah.
So like I didn't get any because I don't wear them. I know I won't. So, but a couple dresses, I did get that for just, dress up occasions or whatever. So you can work with it within your parameters, but you also have to be willing to just kind of try. Like I ordered clothes from places I had never ordered clothes from, and just, I only picked places that had free returns, and I'm just not an in-person clothes shopper.
Yeah.
It's just not something I
No,
like to
me
do.
neither.
So I did that, and I tried on the stuff. I sent the stuff back I didn't like, and it was a lot simpler once I could wrap my mind around it than I thought it was going to be. I was like you. When I started, I was like, I don't understand this.
Okay,
So
then I need to give it another try. I think you're also right in that, like, there's so many times where I will look at, like, I've got a couple dresses that I really like, and I'm like, well, but I wore that a couple weeks ago, or I wore that. Like, there's this feel like we have to wear something new, or we have to always be on trend, or we have to always do, this, and it's just exhausting.
It is exhausting, and you don't have to. You can wear whatever you like and whatever feels comfortable, and that's the only thing in my wardrobe now. So now I know when I go in there, I don't have to do the try on thing where like, does this look okay? Does this fit? I don't know if this fits. Like,
which is such a gross, humbling experience every single time.
Yes, it's the worst.
And then by that time, you're all tired and sweaty, and then you don't want to go to the social thing.
I don't want to do anything. No, and then nothing fits right when you're sweaty and tired.
No.
Because your blood pressure's up and sweat's everywhere. And
it's not good.
No. Get yourself a capsule wardrobe.
Get it.
You'll be happy.
We'll include maybe one of the links that you had sent me.
Yeah.
So you can get started.
Yep.
Well, another one of the things that was my favorite from this year was actually taking off substantial time to rest.
Oh.
I decided at the beginning of this year that every quarter, because now I've worked enough that I had a certain amount of vacation, which was a good amount of vacation. And so I decided every quarter to just take a week off. And during that week, try not to overwhelm myself with like a list of all the things that I want to do and all the things that I should do, but to actually rest and to not go anywhere, not do anything, just relax and rest. And it took some adjusting. It took like a lot of, especially the first week or two that I did that, I would find myself like halfway in, like finally starting to feel like, oh, okay, this is what relaxing is like. This is what resting is like. Like, I don't have to have a checklist. I don't have to do this and this and this. So it took a while just because we're not used to that,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
And we're used to taking our time off to go places and do things and cram as much as possible into every free day.
Absolutely.
And I knew this year that I needed something different. And so I did that.
Do you feel like you got better at it at the latter half of the year with your
I think
weeks?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much so that I think that I might be ready now to sort of ease back into using that time off to travel a little bit, but going at it in a much like chiller way than I have in the past. You know, like several years ago, like I went on a solo trip to Scotland and it was wonderful, but I crammed so much fucking things into every single day because I was like, I have a limited amount of time and I don't know if I'll ever come back here again. You know, like all the pressures that you put on yourself.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, maybe the impact of this year and just taking time off to not do anything is like, okay, if I want to travel, I want to also build that in. I want to be able to go somewhere and relax or go somewhere and do the things that I want to do, like spend a good amount of a day in Scotland at a coffee shop and not, you know, trotting through all the tourist sites and everything. So yes, I think that it has helped me. I will either continue to do it or I will use some of that time to try and ease back into things that I used to like.
I love that. I think that's such a powerful idea that we don't do. We take time off, but it's always crammed with things like you said, or you take time off from work and then I'm going to do all this stuff around the house because I'm off for a week.
Which was my pitfall.
Yeah.
You know, because I think I had done something similar the year before, but I had crammed that time with like, okay, a basement project. Okay, an attic project, you know, like, and I just, that's not restful. That's extremely stressful for me. So
that is not restful. No.
So sitting on your couch, I highly recommend it.
Brought to you by Sitting on Your Couch.
Brought to you by Rest and Relaxation.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And I think that people don't realize how much they don't know how to do that.
For sure. It's definitely difficult to sort of put your phone aside and
do something different. Okay, well, I'm gonna give you another one that's real weird.
Oh,
it's real outside my comfort zone.
Yes,
and I just stumbled upon it. I have to admit that I'm guilty of falling for an Instagram ad, but it turned out
we all
well.
have.
Yeah, it turned out so well, and I'm so happy with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not a huge I just never really grew up knowing how to do makeup or doing
I
any.
still don't know.
Yeah, it's just it's a kind of a form. I mean, some people do it beautifully. I'm always impressed by it. I feel strongly it's like an art form. They teach, you know, all that, but particularly like foundation or things like that, I don't understand that part. So I stumbled across this stuff it's Laura Geller New York Baked Foundation.
Okay.
So it's this little pot, like about the size of a tennis ball.
Okay.
And you take it off and it's rounded and it's got a bunch of different shades in it. I mean, you pick your shade like you would any makeup, but it's got a bunch of different shades and it comes with a brush. And the brush has a sliding metal part. So you slide it down closer for more coverage or you loosen it up for looser coverage. And when I tell you that it's the easiest and most effective foundation I've ever put on, it's amazing. Like, it's so simple to apply. I never have to worry about it blending or like don't have it in the right spots. It doesn't cake up. It doesn't sit in your wrinkles. It doesn't sit like on a dry spot or whatever. You can just put it on. So simple. You can use the pot, like the lighter pots they say you can use under your eyes if you've got dark spots. I mean, it is the easiest, simplest, but also the best foundation I've ever found in terms of looks or feeling like it's actually doing something. So I highly recommend it. You can order it. I think they do have it on Amazon, but you can also go to the Laura Geller, and it's Geller website, and she has a bunch of stuff on there. She's got blush, she's got eyeshadow, all these things. I've just tried the baked foundation, and I've been so impressed.
That's awesome.
With the brush, and it's so simple. I mean, honestly, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like, it's that simple. It's like painting. I mean, so easy, and I'm just blown away every time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, a few years ago, like when I was in my late 30s, I had a really bad acne flare. And I finally went to a dermatologist because I was like, what the hell is happening?
Right.
But and found out that it was just a hormonal thing. Like, as you age, sometimes your hormones are starting to get way out of whack, you know, perimenopause, all that kind of stuff. And that was the first time I really had to think about like a lot of foundation or a lot of things to try, because I was very self-conscious of it.
Sure.
So I would go on YouTube and I would look at all these beauty tutorials, and I would learn, one, so many people know so much more than I do. Two, this is a massive skill that no one really teaches you, but yet we're supposed to know how to do it.
Yes.
And three, like all these tools and names, I had no idea. So I felt so out of water. And also I was sort of on a back foot because I was feeling very self-conscious and everything.
Yeah.
So I hated that experience. But it also sort of showed me that there's all these hidden secrets out there that like if we just, you know, knew a little bit more,
Yeah. That's what, I mean, I ordered this on a whim. I thought, well, we'll give it a try.
Yeah.
And I fell for the video, but it actually works like in the video, which was
That's rare.
I know.
Yeah.
It was mind blowing. And I'm obsessed. It's small. It's easy. It's not I could never do that cream.
I'm just picturing all the like mismatching from the chin to I can never get it right.
Never. No. So I highly recommend. It lasts forever. I've had it for months, and it's the same. I mean, obviously I wash the brush sometimes and stuff, but it's the same pot. I mean, I ordered another one because they were having a crazy Black Friday sale, but I don't know when I'll get to it.
Wow.
And again, I'm not a huge, like, I don't always put it on. So it's not daily, but even if it was, I think you would have a ton it takes a while to get through. So I've been very impressed. So.
Well, situation of Instagram doing good.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, I don't even know how I fell that far in the rabbit hole that I finished that thought and then ordered it and got it. And here I am recommending it. It's
well, it's related to another item on my list, which is scaling back social stuff. And I'm also calling this in my head social calculus, even though I never took calculus, so I don't know if this is actually true. But in my head, it's the figures that I'm trying to figure out, like when something is worth it socially.
Right. You need an algorithm.
I need an algorithm, indeed. So there's two aspects to this. Okay. One is social media. So this year, I quit Twitter because it was already kind of shitty, and then Elon came, and I was like, fuck, I'm out. No way. Then I quit Facebook. Also had been shitty for a long time, but just sort of held on. And I was like, no, I'm done. I kept Instagram. I chose one out of the three because Instagram is the place where I've just kept my feed really focused. Yeah. I choose who I follow. I choose who I let follow me. I follow a lot of like funny videos, things like that. Yeah. And I get something out of it because of that.
Right.
The others I was getting nothing out of except guilt and shame and all the things that happen.
Right.
Okay. So that's social media. And the second one is in-person social. And that's where the social calculus comes in. Because I start thinking like, okay, there are some social gatherings that I'm going to that I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
And I have limited social energy. I know this just as who I am, also because now I know that I'm autistic. I have limited social ability and energy before I turn into a cranky monster bitch.
Right.
And I want to preserve that social energy.
Yes. Makes sense.
I want to hang out with the people I actually like. Not hang out with people I don't like.
Yes.
Or that don't really, or that are too draining on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
So this year I've had to sort of create some boundaries, make some decisions about where I'm going to hang out with and who. And I still feel a little guilty about it sometimes. I feel a little shame about it sometimes. But most of the time, I feel great.
I think it's amazing.
Scaling back social is a thing that we can all do. We don't have to feel pressured to do things just because we've always done them or hang out with people because we have for a certain amount of time.
Right.
Social calculus.
I like it. I think you should trademark. trademark. You should trademark that.
So when I was in high school, I was going to the Super Smarty Pants Academy and I was taking, I think I took trigonometry. And at that point I was like, I got to stop. I can't take any more math because I'm in these advanced classes and I'm getting there, but it is killing me.
Right.
So I got to jettison this and focus on English and history and all the things that I really enjoy. So I remember that act and that decision and also the fact that I didn't take calculus. And so I'm calling it social calculus because of that.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think you need to somehow formulate that into an algorithm that you can teach other people.
Yeah.
Like 1 through 10 is amount of energy you imagine this type of social event will take from you.
Yeah.
And maybe 10 to 1 is the potential for fun.
Exactly.
And if it's under a certain number, then it's acceptable.
Yes. Because, when it comes down to it, because of who I am, because of my biology, like social stuff is not inherently fun. There is some effort involved. There's a lot of like manual effort to sort of fit in and to do all the things. And so if I'm not getting fun out of it, that's all work for nothing.
Right.
And I don't want to do it.
Right. And you shouldn't have to.
I don't want to do things I don't want to do.
If there's one thing that we got from the horrendous last few years, it should be that, right? That we don't have to do things we don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like it's just enough is enough.
And listen, we had a great reset with the pandemic, a lot of us. So yeah, we had some choices to make when it was time to come back to a lot of things. I choose not to. Thank you.
Exactly. I'm just doing me.
Just doing me.
Just doing me. Okay. Well, I always got to bring some kind of drink thing, whether it's a warmer or a frother or whatever. So
yeah, I was waiting. Yeah. Like, where's your coffee element, accoutrement, whatever?
I know. This one kind of is more related to tea, and it's the actual product.
Fancy.
So I discovered Red Dragon herbs and teas.
That's right.
Kind of through a friend Haley because of where she cooks her meals out of. This
who is a real person.
Yes, married to Maggie,
Yep,
who is also a real person.
Yeah,
those are real people. I didn't make them
very
up.
real people.
I feel like
The more we do that, the more it's suspicious.
It's so suspicious.
It's so weird that we do that.
I don't know why that started.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't
be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. They are real people. Real friends.
Yes.
Anyway, this lady has her own store or, business, whatever. And I think she's getting into stores now too. But you can find her on reddragonherbs.net. But when I tell you that these teas are delicious, I am not lying. Okay. I'm not a tea entrepreneur. I didn't know much about it. And I happened to try her house blend at like a thing where she had it. And I was like, well, that's amazing. I'll take some of that. But then I found out that they have all these other teas. She's got allergy relief tea. She's got anti-inflammatory tea. She's got that time of the month tea. She's got bedtime tea. She's got just other fun teas. And I have tried so many of them and they have all been great. And it comes very quickly and it's clear how to make it. The instructions on the back. It's a nice package. I have loved it. And I have so many. I even bought these little jars that I keep the loose tea in that is labeled so that when I open my drawer, I can just say, ooh, which one? But the allergy relief tea, it does actually work for me with seasonal allergies that are added to my everyday allergies. I can just feel like it helps relieve some of the itching or pressure or whatever. And the anti-inflammatory tea is great. I've enjoyed that on a few occasions. So everything has been wonderful. And they sent a nice Christmas card just because I ordered product from them, which I thought was delightful.
Got one of those too.
Yeah, it's just nice, right?
Very nice.
I was very happy with it. And it doesn't upset my stomach generally. So sometimes tea can be harsh for people. And it's wonderful.
And listen, if it works on Aaron's tum-tum,
then you're good to go. You're good to go. Okay? You're good to go.
You are sort of the litmus test for like,
Yes.
you're like the worst Tom around.
So bad.
So
It's
if
just
something
so bad.
treats it okay,
Yeah.
then it's a good to go.
Then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Then it's safe for any Tom.
You're like the royal taster for kings and queens.
Yes.
Who used to taste food to make sure it wasn't poisoned, and if they died, well, it was poison.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like that, except the death part and
Yeah.
the royalty part,
Right.
And
Right.
you're our broads and books taster.
Yes.
or
I'm just
tester,
saying you're
something.
good to go.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I mean, I watched my, 18-month-old grandson constantly eat things that I think I would be in a lot of pain if I
Yeah,
ate that. And
yeah.
he just mouths it down.
Uh-huh.
Kid loves jalapenos.
What?
Yeah. He eats the craziest stuff. That kid eats spice like it's his job.
Wow.
I know. Spicy little nugget. I can't.
Does his sister eat that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah. She
Oh my
doesn't mind some
gosh.
spice. Yeah. She'll eat. Yeah. I got to give it to Beth. I'm not lying. Best mom in terms of food. Those kids have eaten and tried everything, and they are good eaters for it. I mean,
Wow.
one of Charlie's favorite things is mushrooms. Like, if you can put mushrooms on something for her, she's pumped.
Oh my gosh.
Pasta on a pizza, whatever. Yeah. Shrimp. Kid loves shrimp.
Wow. I'm thinking back to when I was that age, and
I wouldn't
give
try
me a
either
hot
of those
dog
things.
and mac and cheese.
Yeah, that's Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's done such a good job. I mean, that kid, yeah.
jalapenos.
I
Good
know.
Lord.
He eats anything you put on his plate.
Wow.
He loves Mike's biscuits and gravy, and they're kind
Oh.
of spicy, and
Uh-huh.
that's mouths. Just yeah.
Man,
I know.
good job, kid.
I know.
Way to
Tell
show
you.
us spice adverse adults.
I know. I'm like, I
That we're
can't eat
wusses.
that, but good for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
When we got to go to Lucky Lotus and get 0 level spice
And it's
because
still
one
too
was
hot.
just too much.
Oh man, I got 0 on that other dish, and it was too much. I was like, I can't do it.
Do you think that's our Midwestern upbringing in part? Yeah.
Mhm.
We just
There's
are
no
not
seasoning on
No,
anything.
we don't get any seasoning.
It's so much so that when I first was with Mike and he put pepper on things, I was like,
Like black pepper?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't do that either.
And I was like, oh, no one in my household ever did that growing up. And then I started trying it on a few things and I was like, oh, salt and pepper. Look at
This is why they come as a
this.
duo.
Good. Yeah. Oh, wow. This is tasty. Like, what's wrong with you?
Meanwhile, Mike's looking at you like, seriously.
Yeah. Like, what? This is
You
not
are
revolutionary.
easily impressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we had already coined one saying around your stomach, which was, if you feel it in your tum, you better run.
It's time
in terms
to
of
run.
red flags, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So now we've sort of got another one. We need to sort of work on the language.
Yeah.
But something about if you can handle it, then anyone can handle it.
Aaron tested, Tum approved. Pretty sure that's stealing from Kicks, but
Works for me.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Trademark.
yeah.
Well,
Very good
another of my favorite things from this year is just letting it happen and leaning into being a cat lady. The reason I say this is because in October, I took in one of the outside cats, which brought my tally to 4 inside. And something about that number really got to me. And I was telling you this, I was telling some of my other friends, something about, like, I can handle a lot of, like being childless, child free, whatever, fine. Unmarried, I don't care. Any of those kinds of things, I'm good. But something about the notion of a cat lady was very, like, stigmatizing to me and very, like, embarrassing or something. Like, there was a lot of weird stuff around that I just couldn't quite get around. And
Yeah.
so I felt embarrassed about it. I felt like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
am I going to become a hoarder? Like, what is happening?
Oh, there's a big jump there.
Well,
Yeah.
that's where my brain was
Yeah,
going.
yeah,
As
yeah.
much as I was loving this little guy, and he's such a sweet, sweet boy.
Yeah.
And he's adorable, and he and Ziggy are best friends and chase each other up and down the stairs all
Yeah.
the time. It's great. He fits in wonderfully. We had a few hiccups. It's all good. All that to say, the worst part was me dealing with my own
Yeah.
ideas and stigma
Sure.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to let that go,
Yeah.
which I think is a lesson for all of us. to just let all that stigma
Yes.
go about anything,
Yeah.
whatever it is, whatever you're embarrassed of. It's fine.
It's
It's
fine.
normal.
It's fine.
So I have 4 cats inside.
Okay.
I have more cats outside. I am a cat lady. And that was proven last week when one of the cats escaped
Yeah.
on the days of the really, really, really cold wind chill. And I climbed a tree to get after him, to get him down.
Uh-huh.
I've never climbed a tree, maybe in my life, maybe when I was a kid, but I climbed this tree
You
to
did.
get one of my cats.
You did.
So I think that earns me that title. And that I should be okay with that title.
I think you just need to rephrase it because cat lady does have like a stigma, like it's associated with like something different than what
There's
you
something,
are.
yeah. There's something like a spinster. That's
Yes.
like there's this whole
I think you're
other
just
level.
an animal lover.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
I
just
mean,
an
I've been
animal lover.
vegan for
Yeah,
almost
that's
10
what I'm
years,
saying. I
and,
mean,
like,
other people have tons of animals, and
Yeah.
they're just animal lovers. It just isn't.
You're right. It was something about me living alone
Mm-hmm.
and being, the human amidst all these cats, being self-chosen, unmarried, all of the
Right.
things, being older,
Mm-hmm.
like all of those things were sort of coalescing into this very much old maid kind of idea on the verge of being a hoarder.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And yeah, something about it. I was just struggling hard.
Yeah.
But I'm just putting that aside now.
Yeah. Well, you're also fighting this stereotype, like when you choose not to be married, choose not to have kids, which are valid choices that
Yeah.
anyone can make. But it for so long was associated with there was something wrong with
Absolutely.
you, which is
Very
why you
much
ended
so.
up that way. You're
Yes.
going to end up as a cat lady. You're going to end up
Yes.
as a spinster because
That's
there's
it. It was
something
always
wrong.
used as like the threat. You're going to end up as a
Absolutely.
cat lady.
Right.
You're going to
Right.
end up in a house alone with cats.
So now
How
it feels
sad.
like you're fulfilling what everyone else thought
Exactly.
instead of your own lifestyle choice, which
Yeah.
is what you did. So who cares? You're an animal lover and you have cats. There's really nothing weird or odd about that at all.
Well, it took me talking to a few of you guys to talk me down off the ledge because
Yeah.
there was a ledge there and I was on that ledge.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to think about it.
Also, there's a difference in intent that I think is being missed here too. Like with the connotation of cat lady, it's sort of this idea that this person is substituting cats for people.
Oh,
And
yeah,
like
you're
they're
right.
collecting all of them because they have no one else. And
Right,
these cats
right.
like and they to the point of their own detriment.
Yeah.
And I don't see that. You're not collecting them to replace people. You are you are an animal lover at heart.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't
the cats
shut
are
it off.
outside and they need help and you're helping them. I mean,
It's true. And I often forget to say the part where like Ramon, the
Yeah.
newest guy, he came to me in a real bad way. He
Yes.
was hurt. He was starving.
yeah.
And so I was like, oh shit, okay. And because he'd
Yeah.
lived outside for a year
yeah.
and then it was time. It
You're
was
not
time.
going to ARL every weekend saying, "Can I buy one, get one?" Like it's totally different.
What are your deals for packages?
Yeah.
Package
I
deals.
want
Give me all the
bonded
cats.
buddies. Like they're coming to your door injured.
They are coming to the door.
Yeah.
And
What?
yeah, I mean, they have obviously seen me as a mark
Yeah.
and it's working.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I am.
You're an animal lover.
I'm an animal lover. Thank you.
Okay, this is another departure for
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah. Okay, and I have to explain the backstory because I would very much hesitate to recommend something like this, especially in an end of year wrap up. But I have had a lot of trouble with my shoulder and arm this year.
Oh yeah.
Just going dead, and by dead I mean like I just lose ability to use it.
Yeah, which is alarming.
It's
That's
so
not
alarming,
good.
yeah. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with how I was sleeping and some of that. And I think it was also just some strength issues in that arm. I just needed to strengthen it. And the chiropractor did a lot, but that was one of the things he said. He kept giving me these exercises. Now, if you're anything like me, that's overwhelming. Some guy shows it to you one time and I'm supposed to go
yeah.
home and do it. I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm doing. And I know I'm going to do it wrong. I don't have the right form. So I was always feeling kind of overwhelmed. And then I came upon this thing called a dribble up ball. And it originally started as a basketball, I think, and you could dribble and it would keep track of your dribbles. It was like a drilling thing. But now they've expanded and they have like a medicine ball, they have weights, they have a yoga mat, they have like boxing. I bought the medicine ball because what happens is I have an app and I can set it up and it tracks my movement and it tells me if I'm doing the movement wrong.
Oh my gosh.
If I stay within the range, then I'm doing it correctly. But it's the app is watching my arms and all of that. So it has made so much difference.
Wow.
In being able to, I have movement back. It hasn't gone dead since I started using it. It just is, but I have confidence because I know I'm doing the move right. So I was hesitant to say this. I'm not saying this as like an exercise thing, unless that's something you truly enjoy. Then this is a great addition because they have yoga. I'm thinking about getting the yoga mat because kind of teach you yoga.
Yeah, that'd
you know,
be good.
they have hand weights, they have boxing, the dribbling, all that stuff. The app does require like a monthly fee to stay up on it, but that also means that you can get on demand anytime you want. You can click on a class or you can click on an instructor that you've liked before. You can work certain body parts, like I just want to work my shoulder today or whatever. You can click on things individually for that, and it gives you, you know, and they're not annoying. There's not a bunch of like crazy loud music. They're just doing the movement and telling you to keep going. And I have just really enjoyed it because it's been something that I've been able to stick with and know that I'm not injuring myself further by doing something wrong over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So especially people that maybe are intimidated by exercise, you know, maybe you feel like you do want to gain some strength or something, but you don't want to go to a gym and you don't want someone going through that awkward thing of, you know, teaching you in their bro tank. Like, this is a great option. You do it in your home. You can do it whenever you want. It's easy. It was simple to set up. If I can figure it out, trust me, you can. So
that's awesome. You know, when I was still in Chicago, I was running too much and too far, and I really hurt my hip and my knee. And I went to physical therapy, and I definitely had that experience where like they show you stuff or they do things during that hour, and then you're supposed to have homework and you're supposed to do things. And I think I was always doing it wrong because nothing ever felt right. Nothing, I didn't improve. So what a great idea for a physical therapy session. Specifically.
Yeah. It's great because I mean, if your chiro or anyone you're seeing says, hey, do these types of exercises or whatever, you can kind of find that on there. You know, I'm not doing the exact same things he showed me, but his main thing was like, we just need to strengthen that the shoulder and the arm. So that's what I focused on. And it's made a huge difference. And I definitely wouldn't be able to do that without something like this.
Yeah.
So
excellent.
Yeah, it tracks the ball, so it just has to see it, you know, where you move, and yeah, I've been impressed enough that I'm considering getting other things.
That's great.
Like, yeah. So
also, just the idea that you had a dead arm. That's
right?
scary.
It's awful.
That's not good.
It's just so bad. And the dead arm is what led Mike to neck surgery. So I started panicking real hard.
God.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. But it would come back. It's like it didn't have enough strength or it was pinching a nerve or something. But yeah, it's been a lot better. So
are you sleeping differently now?
I have tried to sleep more on my back.
Okay.
I'm a side and a stomach sleeper, and my arm comes up and my head rests on it. So I was compressing the nerve down, I think, is what we kind of figured out. So I've tried to not do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dead arm.
Dead arm. Just bleh. Bleh. You wanted to lift that plate? Not today.
Here's a resolution. No dead arms for 2023.
No dead arms.
No dead arms.
You're out of here. You're done in here, dead arm. Get it together.
Well, I am done with my list, but it looks like you have some more options. What else would you like to share with us?
Oh boy. What did I put on this?
It looks like just from your list that it was a good year.
Yeah,
in products
fun,
and things.
Nice outside things. Yeah. Okay, I'll do one more and then we can do our favorite books and stuff. So this is, I am not like a waxer. Like I don't like to wax lip hair or anything like that. No. And I'm also a hairy person. I have very light skin and dark hair. So
dangerous combo.
It's a dangerous combo. And as I get older, I've noticed that the facial hair is want to come back much quicker than it should. So I
likes to be real dark.
But I'm scared. I don't know. I just didn't know much about hair. So I found these things called Tinkle Eyebrow Razor Hair Remover. I do not use it for my eyebrows.
Okay.
You can use, so it's like a little blade on a little plastic thing, but it's not as scary as it sounds. It's not as like crazy sharp, but you go downward on your like cheek and on your like under your nostril and on your chin, and you can go the opposite way under your chin, and just it gets all that peach fuzz off and it gets all like and I can do it now. I've done it for a year. I can do it in 20 seconds before I hop in the shower. And they're relatively inexpensive. They come like 4 in a pack, and I use like one for like a week before I feel like maybe it's a little dull. The only times that I've had like maybe a scrape or something is like it was too dull, or I went at it too hard or something, or I wasn't in the right, like I was talking to Mike or something and moved it. It's not scary. It's not hard to use, nothing like that, but it is so simple, and it's so much better than any of those electronic expensive ones that they tell you to buy or anything like that. It's simple. I get them on Amazon. They come, and it's great. And I have loved it, and it's easy. And as you age and you got the unwanted hair, boom, simple.
Boom.
Simple.
Do they have a tool for like the hair that likes to come out of the mole and like, okay, because I've got a couple moles where like there is where the hair comes out darkest and strongest.
Of course, yeah.
And curliest. So it looks like I'm a little pig with like a curly hair on my chin.
What do you normally do? Like tweeze them?
I just tweeze them.
Yeah.
I tweeze them. Like I'm watching out for them now. So it's not like I let it get real long.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I have that on underneath my chin. Like there's one that comes out that I don't even think the Tinkle razor touches because he's so coarse. And I usually have to pluck that one. Yeah. So,
Why?
moles? Why?
You're already a danger because of your potential for skin cancer. And now you're giving us weird hairs.
Yeah. But I also think it's helped my skin a little bit because it gets the dead skin layer off. So it absorbs lotion better, and I don't get that like buildup of, dead skin. I've noticed a difference in that, a difference in my, like the condition of my skin. So I think it's good for that too. Just like, it's kind of an exfoliation thing without like a chemical product in a way.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Especially in the winter, I notice that it's more like dead skin cells when I do it than, like hair. But love it.
Man, our favorite things are all over the map.
That was weird. A group of favorite things for me. Wow. It's like a very vain year.
We went from dead arms to drunk drivers to social media, like all over the place. Everywhere. Well, I think we both have chosen a favorite book and a favorite pop culture moment. Okay. Or pop culture item, I should say. So for my favorite book, I have 2 runners-up and a winner.
Okay. I like that.
My runners-up are Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel.
Yep. Okay.
Really beautiful, lovely. You can sit down and read it almost in, an afternoon. And it probably does well with that quick reading. Second is Devil House from John Darnielle.
Yes.
That was the one where the true crime writer's like, yeah, I'm going to buy the house where the murder happened and live here, and it's going to be fine. And then my winner is When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill.
That makes sense.
And I chose this, I think, trying to, put into words why I loved it so much, but all I can think of is when the power was out and I was finishing the last 5 pages and just bawling and loved it. Not because the power is out, but also because the power was out.
Yeah.
And because this book is so lovely and beautiful and talks about like a mass trauma that you're forced to forget.
Yeah.
And women finding their way in a society not made for women.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Loved it.
I liked how you did that. I'm going to do that too.
Okay.
I'm going to have a winner in fiction and nonfiction.
Excellent.
And a runner-up in both categories.
Okay.
So I'll do fiction first. My runner-up, and I never recommended it because I've recommended other books by her, but is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Right.
I'm the way I look at like my favorite books of the year is more about the reading experience I had than necessarily saying like that's the best book. Because I read a lot of books that I think are incredible that are maybe dark or deep or things that I wouldn't say the reading experience was particularly enjoyable because I was maybe learning something about myself or, it was more work, but I loved. But this one, for whatever reason, I just got into the story. It's like considered historical fiction because it's set in the 80s, 90s, height of like tennis mania. And she's a tennis star. And her dad is her trainer and coach. And it is just, it's really grips you into the sport. I mean, it gave me an interest in the sport that I really didn't have before. And just an inside look. I'm always interested in elite athletes and how their lives are so different. And, you know, there's a lot in there about women in sports, about how they're perceived as bitches, but men are perceived as tough, and just a whole host of stuff. And I really loved it. I cried. I laughed. Great reading experience. So I highly recommend if you haven't gotten that yet. Love that book. And then, but my absolute favorite reading experience this year was Tell Me an Ending by Joe Harkin, which was the one where memories are taken out. Bad memories are taken out if you want. And the concept was so cool. The way it was executed was beautiful. I really enjoyed that book. And it was just a random one, but I really did love it. Nonfiction. My runner-up would be The 90s by Chuck Klosterman, because that was a great book. So well done. Funny and insightful, and just everything you want from him that you come to expect. But then about the 90s was just over the top. It was great. But my winner, and this should be no surprise to anyone, in a book where we had a new Sarah Weinman book, a year where we had a new Sarah Weinman book, it was Scoundrel by Sarah Weinman. Great, so thoroughly researched, but also so good at telling the story while also, you know, imbuing all these facts, but not in a way that makes you feel like you're just reading she just has a beautiful writing style. I loved that book. Such an interesting story. Great true crime read.
Man, I wonder if Sarah Weinman knows how much of an Uber fan she has here.
I feel like she did. I think I told her, didn't I, when we interviewed her? I think I just full on said, like, I'm obsessed. Yes. And then we found out that, like, we listened to some of the same podcasts and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah. Read some of the same books. Yeah. I had a real day that day. Remember, it was my birthday, wasn't it? No, you told me on my birthday we were going to get to interview her. Yeah. Best birthday gift ever.
Never going to top of that one.
Obsessed with her. Obsessed.
So for pop culture, got 2 runners up and a winner.
Okay.
My runners up are Severance. From Apple TV. That's the one where there's a chip in your head that severs you from your day job and the rest of your life, and you never the twain shall meet, with our favorite Adam Scott.
So good.
And it's gotten so many rave reviews, and it deserves all of them. It's wonderful. Another one is Bad Sisters.
Yes.
That was another Apple show. Yeah. And that was where sisters are banding together to get rid of one of their brothers-in-law.
Yeah.
Who's an asshole.
Yeah.
A real asshole. So that's another good one. But my favorite is Our Flag Means Death from HBO Max.
Yes.
In which we get a gentleman pirate. And Blackbeard. And a whole host of pirates that are shitty at their jobs.
Very bad.
Very bad at their jobs.
Very, very bad.
And a wonderful epic romance.
So good.
It's funny. It's heartfelt. It's delightful.
It is.
And it's very quick, too.
It is. It goes so fast.
I think I've rewatched it now like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, my God. It's so wonderful.
It's glorious.
I mean, really, if I was going to have just one pop culture thing, it'd just be Taika Waititi.
Yes.
I mean, boom, there. Anything. That's a good one. That would be in my runners up probably for sure. Okay. Yeah.
I will say I took that as a huge success when I convinced you to watch that and you loved it as much as I did. And I was like, oh, yes. We are indeed meant to have this podcast together.
That show is phenomenal. I'm going to say that my runner up for pop culture, I have 2 runners up. One would be the Elvis movie.
Oh, right.
Took me by surprise. Yes. Did not expect that. Really enjoyed it.
By the way, him hosting SNL and the moment where he started singing Blue Christmas, I felt things. I felt feelings.
Tell me you watched the movie.
No, I did. And it was wonderful.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And then after that, I watched him on SNL and I was like, oh, I was right to have feelings.
Yeah. Took me by surprise. Love that movie for a myriad of reasons. Also really enjoyed Tough, but I enjoyed and we both recommended it and watched it, Under the Banner of Heaven.
That was another one I was thinking of. Yeah.
That was loved that show. I mean, tough material, but it was also really interesting. But my winner this year is a podcast that I found called Something Was Wrong, which is just people telling stories of like red flags and realizing something was off and kind of telling the story. And they usually do it in the vein of like, you know, these are kind of things you could look out for in relationships. And I feel like that's an area that maybe isn't dealt with a lot. We deal a lot with individual stories, but not a lot with like in general. How do you recognize red flags, or how do you talk about something that seems off, or how do you deal with the backlash of being the person that says this isn't right?
Right.
So I really like that. I like the style of it. They treat all the stories with utmost respect and kindness, and it is also just batshit crazy, some of the stuff that happens to people. So that would probably be my winner, because I've binged all the old episodes now as well. Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about that a lot this year. Red flags, why we don't spot them, or why we ignore when we spot them, like our own intuition, all of that. Yeah, we've had some good discussions on that this year.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think maybe the prime advice for 2023 is if you feel it in your tum, it's time to run.
It's time to run. Get out of there.
In every situation.
Every situation. You're not feeling it with your heart. You're feeling it with your tum.
That's your resolution.
Yeah. Your tum will not lie to you. Mm-mm. Your heart will. Your heart will.
And your head will.
Yes.
Your whole body will.
Your heart is a fickle mistress. Your tum is rock steady in terms of telling you what you should or shouldn't do.
Right. Rock steady in that situation.
Yeah. No, I mean, mine will flip out and throw up everything.
Yeah.
But it's consistent in telling me when something's wrong.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's time to listen.
It's time to listen.
If we haven't been listening, it's time.
It's time.
We don't got time to not listen anymore.
We had no time to not listen.
Because it is almost 2023.
Is that right? Is that
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have no time to not listen.
Yep. That sounds right. Sounds right.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's accurate. Well, I mean, I hope that 2023 brings everyone all of the things that they hope it does.
Yeah.
And I hope it brings you 1,000,001 wonderful reading experiences.
Yes. So many.
We'll keep trying to provide those in 2023.
We'll keep trying to point you to great ones that we find.
Yeah.
As we do.
As we do. In the meantime,
happy reading. I'm up again. Same night, another dream. Before trying this recording thing, I didn't remember much of anything of these dreams. I didn't remember much from any of the women. And one night of doing this, and it's broken things open. The dreams they're in me, and they're coming out of me, and
talk to me. I am not broken. I am the most whole, most real.
Cause their despair. I wait for the word. Witch. Look at the mad woman in her cage. She was a woman with holes inside her. That was the heaviest factor, the final evidence, the heart of the issue. Somehow, you understand this. You hear me. Wherever you are, whatever this is, you... This isn't a dream journal anymore. It's not. It's just fact. Because now this is some sort of record. What are these dreams? Maybe there's a better question. Who are these women? Weird Woman is a Broads and Books production. All 9 episodes are available January 10th. Listen and subscribe to Weird Woman on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and your favorite podcast platform. That's WYRD Woman, wherever you listen to podcasts.